All right. I believe we can go on. Now, last time we had a few functions from the DPLYR package. And these functions included select, whereby we selected the columns, followed by another one we called filter, whereby we filter the rows. And then we had another one, mutate, which we used to create or transform a variable that we already had. Now today, I want us to work on two functions that work together and they go together, group by function. This goes closely together with the summarize and also with the mutate. You'll understand why go together and mutate. And also there is a final one called arrange. Okay. Arrange is a separate one, doesn't have to go with group by. So group by works together with summarize and mutate. So let's load our data for today. I hope it will take longer time to load. Let's have a look. Let's give it a minute to load. So this sports data is today's Tidy Tuesday's data for today. If we go to our Tidy Tuesday, today's data, we can see, we find it there. So 2022, just Tidy Tuesday, Tidy Tuesday. So today's data, here it is, collegiate sports. So I think it's about sports, and this is our data set that I've copied here. It is a data on this data. The data this comes from equity in athletics data analysis by this person. Yeah. So that is the data I'm talking about. If you come back here, I think it's already loaded. Let's look at the sports. So this is the data for this week's Tidy Tuesday. We have here all these variables. As of now, I don't know what they mean, but we'll try to see what they mean. Okay. All right. Now, we have also our households data set for the Kenya census data set. So you have county population, number of households, average households. Okay. Then we have the one for crops data set. So you have farming, tea, coffee, avocado, all those things. I had not looked at this data before, so okay, let me see how this gender looks like, whether we can use it for some of these functions, male, female, intersex, and total. Okay, so let's start from where we started. Let's first remove this total, these row and totals, and then from there we can continue. So we said let us work with crops today. We didn't work with crops last time. Let me see how crops look like. Sub-county, farming. Yes. So let us remove this row on Kenya that has the total for the whole country. So what do? Let's come here, take crops. And then let us filter. And in here, in this data set called crops, we are filtering. And at this column called sub-county, we want to remove Kenya. So sub-counting. So under sub-counting, we want to filter out Kenya. Could not find this function. I have not trained this TDYR library. So let's see. Okay. Let's now do that. Now we don't have Kenya anymore. We have filtered out Kenya from this data set. And also I want us to remove, apart from removing Kenya, I want us to remove this column on farming, because this is the total farming for the whole thing. So we can do, and then I want to select, but in this case, I want to select that thing out. I want to select that column called farming out. So minus farming. Okay. Is a problem. Okay, so we don't have that column for farming. Now, before we go to these three functions, there's something I would like to introduce you to another package first, so we can work with that called TDYR. And this package, what it does is gathering and spreading. I'll make you understand what this means, spreading. And this is synonymous to pivoting longer and wider. Don't worry. So if you look at this data set on crops, you'll find out these farming, whatever, these things that these crops that people are farming are as columns. And this would be very difficult to visualize. So, and this is not tidy data, because we should have only one column having crops, and there's these other columns having the values, these values that are there. So what I mean is that I want to gather these crops, all of this, and put them in one column. And then these values that are spread all over in another column. So so that we can have only a few columns. So in that case, we'll have gathered this. They are spread at this moment, but I want to gather this and put them in one column so that we can have only 4 columns. A column for sub-county, 3 for sub-county, another for crops, and another for that value. So I want to pivot longer or do the gathering. So I want to gather them first, to put them in one column. And this is done in most cases for easier of data visualization and analysis. It is very difficult to analyze this data as it is at this moment, but let me show you what I mean. Now, I have this data set here. Let me bring it back here. And what I want to do, because this data is spread, it is pivoted wider, it is wide data form, it is in wide, it is very wide. I want to make it thinner but longer. Let's do that. So the function used in this point is called pivot longer. You can see it is coming up there. And in pivot longer, the first argument you have is to show the columns that you want to pivot longer. So, and it's better we use this one. So it is from this second column to this last column on cashewnut. So this how many variables? So from variable number 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more 10. So I want columns 2. When you say from one column to the other, say you put that columns, full columns. So from column number 2 to column number 11. And even if you just click that, let me see. So it is up to 10, not 11. Yeah, only 10, sorry. So you can see what I have now. I have, let me call it crops DF. Sign it there. If you look now at the crops DF, it is in longer form. So I have sub-counting. We have the name. This is the name of the crop, and you have the value, what those values stands for, maybe the acres or the counts. So because you cannot leave this as they are, we can give them names. So what you do, you have said the columns that you want to gather or pivot longer, and then what do you want to do? Then you say, we want to give it the names. The names we want to call them crops. And values, those values, where do you want those values to be? Values, what do you want to call them? Let's call them just values, just as that. Let's run that. Let's look at our crop DF once more. So we have the crops together and the values together. So this is tidy data. So we have the sub counting, we have the crops, and we have the values. Yeah. So that is what you call pivoting. Pivoting longer, and the opposite is pivoting wider. So here we have this type of data. Now let's do something now on group by and summarize. Let's say, for example, now we want to get the mean from Mombasa County of this value, the mean from Kwale only. We want to summarize. We don't want all these values. We want just a simple data that has every county on its own and giving us the mean of these crops that are here. So that's where group by comes in. So let me show you what that happens. So let's put our crops DF here. Now this data that you've pivoted longer, crops DF, and say, and then let us group by, and we want to group by sub county, group by sub county, group by sub. When you click that by group sub county, it doesn't do much, but it tells you here that it is grouped. There are groups, and there are 47 groups because there are 47 counties. So it is grouped into sub counties, and there are 47 counties. That's what it tells you. Then we say, and then let's summarize. You put the summarize. So, and then you give what you want to summarize. Let's say mean value. Mean value put is equals to the mean as that function of mean, and this column of values. You want to get the values. Values here. Okay, let's run that. So it is bring us NAs because these countries have doesn't have much. So what you can do, let me add to you another function of removing all NAs. So we say NA omit. Everything has NA. That is, sorry. Now in here, because these crops DF, there is at least a point there is an NA, and you cannot calculate the value of mean whenever there is an NA. So in that case, you have to remove those NAs. You have to add another. Not a function, but an argument that's saying we want to ignore these NAs when calculating the mean, and that's that we put it inside here, inside the mean function where we have said what to. So we say remove. I think it is NA remove. I think I haven't done this in quite some time. Sorry, NA is equals to true. Let me see. I didn't do the trick. NA remove. Why is it not working? And remember, remove.
It's supposed to be NA dot
remove. NA dot. NA dot.
RM.
Oh,
RM.
that way.
Yes.
Why is it not working this time? Yes, it has worked. I'm trying to remember that part. So we have now in this case, now it has been able to calculate because now we have told it ignore the NAs in this data set. These NAs, we want to ignore them when calculating those needs. So here we are. So we have Baringo. The mean for all crops in Baringo is 6064. So we have summarized this data. So we don't have it in this form. We had everything. Mombasa appeared 9 times. Kwale here appeared 18, I think 9 times that way, but now it is appearing all in one. So we have summarized our data. This can be very easy to even visualize. And that is how we use group by and then summarize. Group by and then summarize. We could use even group by and then mutate. Let's do that. So take our crops DF, group by, sub-county. Instead here of summarize, we can say mutate. You see the difference. So when you say mutate, it just creates another column, but it maintains the previous data set. But when you use summarize, it removes any other part and takes only what the sub-county that you grouped, the variable that you group by, and the mean that you're looking for. But when you mutate, you're just creating another variable here, and we have created another variable, and there it is. So we can do another group by. We can group by. So let's take crops DF, and let's group it by the crops. Let's group by the crops instead of the county. Let's group it by the crops. Let's group by the crops, and then let's summarize. Say, you can say main crops. Just give it the name that just any name. Then you could put the main values, and that same thing, and a.rm equals to true. Okay, see that. Yes. So we have avocado in the whole country. Avocados in the whole country, because now you have not subdivided by any of these things. Just so avocados in the whole country, the mean for avocado, the mean of avocados produced in Kenya, all of the counties is this 27,628. Cashew nut is 10277, citrus is 4796, and all that. These are just means, and you could just have done the same as I was saying with the mutate. It does the same thing. Let's do here, instead of summarize, let's do mutate. It does the same thing, but now in this case, it also adds the other column. The other columns are left there. So when you summarize, everything else is removed. But when you mutate, the other columns just remain. And now you look here, we have for tea. We have it here for coffee here, but now we have each for every of these counties. So that's how group by is used. You want to get a group of means, and then you summarize. So crops, main crops. As we continue, I'd like to show you another function called account. Account is just for descriptives. And let me show you what happens. So if you do crops DF, and then I said I want to count, I will just account of sub-counties. How many sub-counties, unique sub-counties we have? So click sub-county. Let's talk of that. So we have Baringo. Baringo appears 9 times, Bomet 9 times, and all those. Every one of them seems to appear 9 times. It seems as if we have an equal number of sub-counties. And then you can sort. You can say sort is equals to true, meaning that we want to sort from the highest to the lowest according to this end. But it seems all of them have the same number of sub-counties. We could also do a count of the same of the crops BF, and then let us count the crops. We're just doing a count of each crop. Let's see. So avocado appears 47 times because you have 47 counties for each and every county, citrus, coconut, and all those things. So that is just a count. How many times does it appear in the data? And it is the same way if you could use another function called unique. You'd like to get unique. And then you say in crops df, you use the $sign to get the count, the variables that you want. Crops. How many unique crops do we have? So in here we have tea, coffee, avocado. So these are the ones that come in there. So in this case, you can use this as a shortcut to know the variables, the entries of a variable of crops. You can do the same thing. Here you say unique crops df, and then you use the $sign and sub-counting, and you can see all those counties that you have. So have Mombasa all the way to Nairobi. Okay, so in this sports data set, if you come to this last column, we have a column on sports. Let's see the sports that are there, the sports that we have in these data sets. So let's come here and say sports. Or we can first use the unique, and then we say sports. Use that $sign to choose the variable, and I want the very last one, which is the sports. So here are all the sports, about 38 sports. So we have baseball. So in here you can know what is contained in any of the variables.
Hey Dan.
Yes.
You're going too far, and I am kind of need to ask something here.
Okay, ask.
Crop DF count.
This part.
Not sub-county, the count part, crops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you are counting the crops,
Yes.
do you count the, like, how avocado is being named in each and every county, or you count the counties that they have avocados?
Just that counts how many times avocado has been mentioned in that column, in that data set.
And is it possible for you to identify the counties zenye ziko na avocado peke yake?
Yes, that's why you use filter. So let's come here. Let's do crops DF. Okay, and let's filter. And the crops is equals to avocado. I don't know how avocado is written here. Let's see from here. Avocado. Let's put this. The avocado here. Yeah. Okay. So, and in this case, let's remove anything that has NA. Okay. So that function of talking about NA. So here they are. So you have it in Kwale, you have it in Taita Taveta, Tharaka-Nithi. So this data set here is the one that contains. So let's say view. Yes, so these are the counties. So 35 out of 47 counties have avocado. Yes, you just filter that, and you even have the values, the quantities of it. So you can just filter it that way.
It's okay.
Yes. So this unique part is just to, maybe you want to know the crops that are there, the variable, the contents of a variable. That's how you do. But our main thing here was to group by, to know how to group by, and then summarize and mutate. Here you can even sum. You can do anything. You can even sum. You do a sum. So sum. Let's see. So we have a sum now for the crops. So this is not the mean, but the sum. All the avocados in the country are this much. So this is 966,976 avocados in the whole country. So cashew nuts, I think at the least, would be 61,000. Citrus, you have quite, but no, it seems avocado are the ones that you have them in quite huge quantities, and almost 1 million avocados for 2019 that year. So you can do some mean, you can even do median, anything that you want to do, the median of those things, we can say. So that's how summarized. So the median of avocado is this. So yeah, so that's how, if you want to get a mean, the sum, or anything, this is how this thing works. So here they are. Group by, summarize. Group by, mutate. That's how that works. And then in addition, because we couldn't have done that without this part of pivoting longer, I hope you got that. So we pivot longer. We want to, we came from this kind of a data set to this kind of a data set for easier manipulation and easier visualization and use. Yeah. So what we've learned now are select, as you have said. We have filtered so much. We have done a lot of, we have grouped by, summarize, and mutate. So these things, get them, make sure you understand them very well and how they work. Without this, you cannot operate in R, because these are the ones that help you manipulate or wrangle your data in any way that you want to, and get your data in the form that you want it to be. And in addition, there are those two functions that I've talked about, pivot longer. Pivot longer and pivot wider. We are going to deal with this next time, but so as if you have gotten this part, these are the ones that you need. You'll need them every day when you're working with the data in Rstudio. Now, there is something else I might have forgotten, that is arrange, this arrange function. Now, we have this data set here, this part here. I want just to copy that. Let me see how it looks like this. So this is that. So if you look at these crops, these sums, or this median is not arranged in any order, but just the crops that are arranged, maybe I think in alphabetical order, the crops, but this would like to maybe to arrange from the highest to the lowest in regards of these numbers, these values, and that is where arrange comes in. So you say arrange, and then arrange. So in this case, you want to arrange in the descending order. So you say just put DSE, that is descending. It always brings you that crop. And what do you want to arrange it in descending order? That median crop variable, median crops. So it is arranged now from the highest to the lowest, descending. And you can also do it in ascending order. Let's put here, I believe it is ascending order. No. Okay, I think I can't remember that part. Maybe I'll just have to check that. So anytime you need help in R, you just put a question mark in front of what you want. Then you put the command that you want. For example, maybe you want to look at the median. Put there, then you enter it. It always gives you this part. It always gives you a description, a help of how to work with that. Or you can say help. You can even say help. Then mean. And it always bring you here help that you're looking for. So this is an easy way, a quick way of getting what these functions do. And in every one of them in here, there is always an example. So for example, let's find arrange. What arrange does. Arrange. Okay, yeah, it is arrange data by group, all that. So let's see, missing values, value methods. So he's descending. Give us part of, so it gives you this is this. So arrange descending. So it doesn't have to tell us the other part. I just can't recall. I didn't look it up, but we'll look at that next time. Let me see if I just put it as it is, what will happen. Maybe that is a default. Yes, the default. So from now ascending order from the lowest all the way to the highest. But if you want to see from the highest to the lowest, you have to say it is descending. Then you choose your variable. Yes, so that is arrange. So in here we add arrange.